If you're always just like, I got to get through this life to get to that beautiful pearly gates and that beautiful heaven, fuck that, man. In my religion, in my spirituality, fuck, it's here today. It could be here tomorrow. It's going to be there next week. And it's so much fun if you get to experience all of these big emotions and stuff daily and in your life, instead of just hoping that at the end of the rainbow is that pot of gold.
Welcome back to the Harley and Malarkey Podcast, Old Dog, New Tricks.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I like your jorts.
Jorts, yeah,
I mean, actually, I don't know if I like them, but I'm just commenting on them.
You're commenting on them because you made that funny video of me cutting my jorts. But in my generation, young Tricks, young Trixie over here, we didn't call them jorts. We were tough. We were awesome. We were fucking like Matthew McConaughey and Dazed and Confused. We called them cutoffs.
Well, there's a difference between jorts and cutoffs, and those are jorts.
And I think the difference is stitch, no stitch. I'm fringe. I'm hanging on the fringe. I'm on the fringe of society.
I think like cutoffs are cool and jorts are not cool.
I 100% agree with you. You know who wears jorts? The Midwest dad who's got fucking, they're all pleated up. They're all like there, and he's got his Izod shirt on, and he's like going to the mall. That's a jorts. I got a 4-wheel drive truck with the guns in the back rack, and I'm crazy because I'm wearing cutoffs.
How many years have you been wearing jeans with holes in them?
Since the day I was born. I came out of my mama with a baby with some jeans with holes in them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Levi's, Wranglers.
Your Wranglers had holes in them?
Actually, Wranglers never were allowed to have holes in them, were they?
No.
It's a funny thing you say that. I was raised by cowboys in a country town, but I wanted to be cool, so I wore Wranglers on the weekends when I was riding horses.
Yeah.
And I wore Levi's at school because I wanted to be cool.
Levi's are cool.
Levi's are forever, right? So these are my cutoffs. These are not
These are
jorts.
not Levi's.
They're a takeoff or a ripoff.
Okay, listeners, let's vote. Are Brian's jorts cool? Or are they not?
Well, you gotta see them full blown. They're not stitched. They're hanging loose. God damn it! Look at this. Okay, look. I didn't make the holes. I actually purchased them with them at American Eagle. If you're ever looking for a real good discount, American Eagle's great jeans, right? If you wear fancy shoes and fancy glasses, accessories, then you can get away with wearing cheap everything else. It's a little secret of life.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even
Don't
wear
forget-
jewelry.
don't
I have
forget-
cheap jewelry too.
Oh, don't forget your dog collar.
My dog collar is thank you to All Saints. $159, comes in gold and silver.
And black. I don't know if you remember when he wore the black one around, but
It's a thing. When I find something I like, I wear it and I wear it out, and then I'm done with it.
and he wears it in bed. Lucky me.
Lucky me. It gets a little weird though because we use the dog chain then. All right, let's talk about something important.
Okay, what are we going to talk about?
Okay, good. Thanks for asking. I want to talk about the other day, and let's just say maybe I was a little high, but I was thinking about, you talk about spirit baby, how you can speak to potentially your unborn child.
Yeah.
Right? You're telling me that you can speak to your unborn child. You already know your unborn child's name.
Well, I don't want to tell everybody this.
I'm not going to tell them the name.
No, they don't need to know. They don't need to know.
You're a spirit talker.
Yeah, I talk to
You're a spirit talker. So with that, just with the broader stroke of that, is that the thought is, some people believe this, that you...
Unborn child as in like, I'm not even pregnant, just to clarify that.
She's not pregnant. Like, that's how far in advance she is. She doesn't even need to be impregnated to know that she's already talking to the cosmos about the child that one day will walk with her.
I've been talking to it for 3 years now.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Trying to tell me there's a boy in there too, but now we're having some problems with that one. So that's a different subject.
I said it. I was going genderless, but
Genderless. Okay. Oh yeah. So listen. So you believe, and I think I believe, that we are born into the being. We're all sitting up there on the sidelines in the cosmos.
we are.
Right? And we're all going, oh, Well, that looks like a pretty good situation. There's some unhealed things for me there, some lessons I need to learn, some gifts and knowledge I need to pass on to those people. That's where I'm going to go be reborn.
Yeah, but I think sometimes the babies are like, oh, that looks like a fucking terrifying situation. I'm scared, but that's going to help me burn through some karma that I need to achieve the lessons that my soul is trying to learn. So I'm going to jump into the crack addict woman beater household.
Oh,
here I go.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to think like not all souls get to be as blessed. Because their karma is different.
I mean, that's a big one, because then you think about poor people who are in these war-torn countries and stuff like that.
I always have a hard time with
what,
that.
Yeah, I mean, I
context
don't
of
mean to step
spirituality.
on your new age kind of like shit you're doing here, but I don't know if it's all.
I think we've all lived through war-torn lifetimes. I really do. Violence is human. We've had violence pretty much as long as we've been human, and I think most of us have lived through a war-torn lifetime.
True that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe during like Genghis Khan or something like that. He killed everyone.
I was an Egyptian warrior.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard.
I'm so appreciative that you're an Egyptian warrior and not like most people. I was an Egyptian princess. All right, yeah. So we can all be like commoners, we can you can't look back at time and go, I was a king in my last life. Like, really? Oh, not a lot of kings.
Many kings. Yeah.
In a deck of cards, there's only 4 kings. So idea behind that is, yes, maybe if you are in that war-torn thing, you have to live, maybe to appreciate the greatness, you have to live through hell.
I mean, I think that's true even in one lifetime.
Okay, yeah. This is deep.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm getting so scared already.
Yeah.
But my thought. So yeah, we can talk and discuss like if we are reincarnated, if we are living through these cycles of life, and we are, it's a big ongoing thing, and that takes you into religious conversations and takes you through all these different things. But my thought was much simpler than that.
Yeah. Okay.
My thought was, whoa. It started with a whoa, like that. That means I'm right where I'm supposed to be. As me, when I was a mystical being, going, shit, I'm going to pick Mamie.
Yeah.
Mamie's going to be my mama.
Yeah.
And Mike Malarkey is going to be my dad. But they're not going to get along for very long, and they're going to get a divorce. And then I'm going to have Bompa in my life, and then I'm going to have this, and then I want Uncle Palmer is in my life, and then Uncle James, I'm going to ask him to join me later. And I'm like going, and then my previous relationship served a purpose. I have 3 beautiful children that are now all in this orb of mine, and the people I work with, the people I talk to, and even the people you walk in and you meet at the gas station, right? They came into your life for just a little something. And so there is lessons to be learned and lessons to be taught from everyone you meet. Like you were already written in my stars.
I think so. Yeah.
Don't say you think. Just like
I know. I realize I say I think too much. I have a lot of opinions, and I'm just going to start owning them more. But yeah, I definitely was written in your stars. There's so much nuance, and I'll try not to, because I'm a nuance kind of person of like, fate versus free will. Like, I think things come into play. I think we can rewrite our destiny, but I think there are like big things that are written in our stars. Obviously, the biggest one being, who do we choose to be our parents? Like, what life are we setting ourselves up to come into? And I mean, I think that you found this fascinating because sometimes, we get frustrated. We're like, why did I grow up like this? Like, why am I carrying all this pain from my childhood? And I feel like you were excited to talk about this because you're like, oh, wait, I chose this. I chose all of this for myself. So the good and the bad, I chose this for a reason. And
it helps you deal with it. It helps you deal with it going, fuck, I asked myself, before I was in this physical body as this being, and some people who don't believe in this stuff think we're fucking crazy. Like, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. But it sure makes life a lot more fun if you do believe this stuff.
My sense of spirituality has really helped me get through life. Like, it really does. And whether it's true or not, I strongly believe that it is. Like, it is. I think it's nice to believe in something. Like, if you don't believe in anything, to me, that's a sad life. If you're looking, if what we're talking about, you're like, this is kind of crazy, but I'm interested, my mind is a little bit open, some books I would recommend. Many Lies, Many Masters. It is about reincarnation, and it's this therapist who took his patients through hypnosis who were like really having trouble in this lifetime, and it was because they had these blockages from past lifetimes that like were still weighing them down in this lifetime, and through hypnosis they were able to go and release things from their past lifetime. It's just this fascinating book that's really shifted my whole perspective on reality. And then if you are trying to conceive, if you have a baby, if you're interested in that world, Spirit Babies is such a special book. It starts off very woo-woo. I mean, all this stuff is woo-woo, but those are really...
I don't understand. I'm Googling woo-woo. What does woo-woo mean?
I mean, it's out there. You have to have an open mind to...
Why the
to
word
get through it.
woo-woo? What does woo-woo mean?
I don't know.
Did you just make it up, or has somebody said woo-woo to you
You've
before?
never heard that word.
No.
It's like a major phrase. Like people are always like, oh, she's got all her crystals and sage and her cards over there. She's super woo-woo.
Woo-woo.
Yeah.
Spell it.
WOOWOO.
Okay.
You've never heard of that term.
I haven't heard of woo-woo.
I very much believe this. And like, you know, I am very blessed. I'm very grateful for this lifetime. And I think all the time about how grateful I am to be myself in this lifetime. But not everything, as with everybody, has been easy. And like, you know, I think the biggest thing is like growing up with a mom with mental illness and drug issues. And then growing up with a dad who is amazing and one of my best friends, but who also has like certain substance issues and drinks too much. And like, I just know that that was the environment I chose to grow up in to learn the lessons that I needed to learn. And like, you know, it gives you kind of immense, if you open yourself up to these lessons, like you can get immense empathy and immense compassion and wisdom.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise my hand.
Yeah.
What if Harley D, Spirit Baby,
Yeah.
sitting up in the stars.
Me as a spirit baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're up there. And you look down and you see your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
But they don't have those issues yet.
Yeah.
Are you picking them pre-issues?
I think when we're up in the stars, I don't understand this logically, but time is a human construct. Time doesn't actually exist. And so like everything that's ever happened is somehow kind of happening simultaneously is the best way I could explain it, which isn't quite right. But I think that you see, when you're up there, you kind of get to see the journey of your life. And like some of those things can change. Like, I don't know, you can walk in front of a bus, you can end your life early. Somebody in your life can do something drastic like that and shift, you know, your destiny in some ways. But I think as a spirit, you can kind of get a picture of like, these are the big things that I'm going to learn in this lifetime. I don't think you see like, oh, they're really happy right now. I'm choosing a super happy family.
Oh,
and
shit.
It's all going to go to shit. Yeah. And then you're like a baby and you're like, this isn't what I signed up for.
Because that is interesting, because in reality, how many, something I do all the time, I like look at mentors, or I look for a mentor, somebody I see that has had a great relationship with their loved one, a great family relationship, somebody who has balanced their work and their family, somebody who has balanced their health, their work, and their family. I look for these people,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of them. So as us spirits are all trying to come into these worlds that we believe are our places so that we can help heal others and they can help heal us and we can figure out answers to our questions and stuff like that. I mean, don't you just gotta say, it's not fucking working very well? like, oops, we've got a problem in the Matrix, because not many people, I wonder how many people die happy and content.
I hope to be one of those people.
I want to be one too, but how many? I mean, if you put a percentage on it, it's fucking small.
Yeah. I mean, I think happiness and contentment is on a spectrum, you know, like the highest level, like there's very few people that die on the highest level. But I think like if you surveyed people and asked them, like, are you satisfied with the life that you lived here on Earth? I think more than half would say yes.
Interesting. More than half.
I kind of think so. More than half that make it maybe until their old age. Not people who like die young.
Be careful if you define old age in my presence, please, because that would be really
I would say
because like I'll be in old age before you're in old age.
Yeah.
Like, ha ha ha.
I'm defining old age as 80 or older.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Mamie's not even old yet. Shut up.
Well, I mean, I think in your mid to late 70s, you're old, but my dad's 76, and I don't want to consider him old yet, even though he feels pretty old. So
yeah, so so that shook me the other day. This is exactly where I was going back to. I was like, God damn, like I have to be appreciative of the challenges so and so gives me. I have to be appreciative and be open to learning from this situation. I have to ask myself, what can I teach or not necessarily teach? What do I have that I inside me that somebody else in my immediate circle could use to better themselves? And that's where I was thinking. And you know what it is? If you believe in religion, you're believing in trying for this betterment of life. All we're saying is the same thing, is just to have that betterment of life. But it's so much more fun if you think about it, and it's so much more real.
Yeah.
If it's in your inner circle, the people you can see and touch, the people right there are your religious experience. This is it. I'm trying to heal my own social family circle rather than if I'm in a organized religion, I'm trying to answer to this giant, huge being who's not obtainable and not somebody I can physically touch. But in our religion, this spirituality, these people, you touch them, you talk to them, you argue with them, you love them, you hate them, you do all these things right here, right now. And I feel that is a fantastic way to live in the ultra present moment.
I agree. And I think if you don't want to believe in reincarnation, like there's still so much value. And like, hey, my goal in this lifetime, which will be my only lifetime, is to become the most self-actualized version of myself, like the most, grown version of myself that I can possibly be. And that means like, how do I be the kindest version of myself? Like, how am I the most fulfilled version of myself? How do I treat everybody else around me with kindness? How do I help them on their journey? Like, I think in the context of one lifetime, living that way makes sense. But then if you can put it in the context of like, this is my soul family, we all come back. And this isn't when we die, just, this all kind of ends. It's like we're continuing this journey together. And, my next lifetime might be better because I've learned some of the really hard lessons in this lifetime. And I think that like what I've seen and understand is that if you come here to learn lessons, and if you don't learn those lessons, you come back to learn them again. And if it's a really hard, shitty lesson, like, don't you want to learn that on the first try? Like, you probably don't want to OD on drugs 2 lifetimes in a row. Like, that sounds bad. You don't really want to end up in an abusive relationship like 2 lifetimes in a row. Like, that's even worse than 1 lifetime. And so I think it's whatever works for you and whatever works for your belief system. But yeah, and what I understand also is that we kind of have this soul family, and it changes in each incarnation a little bit, but you have this group of people that you've made a soul contract with, that you choose to incarnate with. And these people, you're all there to help each other on your soul's journey. And a lot of times you come back lifetime after lifetime. And I think, when you meet somebody and you're like, oh, it's love at first sight, or maybe it's not love at first sight, but it's this crazy chemistry and attraction at first sight. Like, yes, there's like certain things like, oh, you're trauma bonding and all this stuff from this lifetime. But I think there is an aspect of that where it's like when you meet somebody and it's like love at first sight, it's like, oh, I've known you before. Like, we've been together in another lifetime. Our souls know each other.
That's what you say when you see me.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, I don't know, it was instant chemistry and attraction
and we were a little bit buzzed and drunk and horny too.
Yeah, but it was real because 4 years later almost, we're still here. We're still at it.
We're still here.
Yeah.
And we're still both trying to better. And the lessons I have learned from you, and I would like to think that you've learned some lessons from me also.
I've learned a lot.
Is very fulfilling. And yeah, I just think it's a great way to kind of look at life and just go, you know what, this is my tribe. This is maybe my spiritual tribe.
Yeah.
That's it. And this is my crew, and we're all getting through this thing together. And it's such a reality that on this earth is heaven and hell. And every day can have hell in it, and every day can have heaven in it. It's just constantly going. And if you're always just like, I gotta get through this life to get to that beautiful pearly gates and that beautiful heaven, fuck that, man. In my religion, in my spirituality, fuck, it's here today. It could be here tomorrow. It's going to be there next week. Something's going to happen amazing that's just going to make me go, oh my God, that's so fucking good. I love that. take that in. Oh my God, this is horrible and shitty. Somebody's got this. Somebody's got this. Horrible and shitty. That's my own personal fucking hell. And then there's my personal heaven. And it's so much fun if you get to experience all of these big emotions and stuff daily and in your life, instead of just hoping that at the end of the rainbow is that pot of gold.
And I think the thing, aside from like this lifetime and kind of seeing the people that are your soul tribe as like, hey, we're teammates to get through this life together, but it also makes like things like death a little bit easier to stomach and to like find comfort in, which I think we've
like,
talked.
I'll see you again.
Yeah, I'll see you again. And just like, I've lost my mom, and it's horrible to lose a parent, but I had so much comfort in being like, well, she's not gone. She's
in the spirit.
Yeah, she's all around me now, and she's nicer now. And I do connect with my mom, and I definitely get like real
quick on that. When you say she's nicer now, I think you have expressed also, because you're kind of is it a psychic? Is that what can talk to people in the cosmos?
Yeah, a medium is what they say. You can talk to people.
Saying that all of her earthly bondage, all of her earthly trauma, all of her earthly shortcomings, they fade when you go back up into the stars. You're like, oh, I fucked that one up, right?
Yeah.
And I think she's even said, oh, I fucked that one up. I couldn't have done that. I'm so glad you don't have to deal with me when I'm in like that. But once you go back into the light, into the universe, you're clean and you can see again. It's kind of like when you're on MDMA. Honestly, it's like, whoa. Like that isn't a big deal. Why was I so stressed about that? And then you have this massive sense of clarity, but then you get thrown back into the washing machine of life when you come back into it.
Yeah, I've heard that like once you pass on, you do like a soul review, and it's kind of like your entire lifetime flashes before your eyes.
Heard that before.
And you get to see like, oh man, I wish I hadn't spent all this energy there. I wish I hadn't worried so much. I wish I hadn't done this. Or like, I'm so proud of like how much I loved. Whatever it is, your soul kind of like takes on these lessons. And then there's this book called Journey of Souls, which I haven't read yet, but this book is supposed to be about the time in between lifetimes. And so like, what are you doing while you're up there? Like, I don't know what my mom is doing exactly, but I know one of the things that she's doing is like watching over my brother and I. And this is like out there, but it's like, I have been connecting with this future child of mine for a while now. And that future child has been up there with my mom, and they know each other. And like, you might think I'm crazy, but like for me, these are very real experiences that I've had. And I think it helps take away, I'm a naturally anxious person, and like being able to feel so connected to all these things in the world takes away a lot of your anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. And as we talk about this, the reason that we do this podcast and the reason that we do talk about this stuff is it brings clarity to us.
Yeah.
Like, we don't just sit around the dining room table and be like, oh, let's talk about our spirit. Like, we can't.
I would if you would.
But it's so fun for us to hear this and say these things. And it's not the way that I've lived my whole life. I've lived in a lot of clouds and not knowing what I want to believe in. But in this clarity moment that I'm at in my life right now, I like look at each one of my children. I look at Harley. I look at my mom, my friends, my business partners, and go, you guys are here for a specific reason. That doesn't mean that you can't toss people out of your tribe.
Oh yeah.
Oh
That's part of the lesson sometime.
When somebody's bringing more negatives than positives, unless they're blood related, it's hard to kick the blood related ones out of the tribe.
Especially, yeah, you can though.
Yeah, I think you can if you go all the way.
Depends.
I've had I asked my stepsister, we had to kick her out of the tribe because it was more damaging to be around her than it was, and we tried. And so that's a fine line too, but there is lessons, and those are like kind of like sometimes people come into your life that bring you stuff you don't want and you don't need, and you need to make sure that you can recognize that and get that out of your life.
Yeah, I think being able to have boundaries is like a good, important part of being human, and like learning your lessons of like, I don't have to let everything in. I don't have to accept everything. Like, there are certain things I'm going to do to protect myself.
I mean, that's just us spitballing today, team.
Well, if this intrigued you, if you're like, if you didn't shut this off and you're like, this is kind
If
of,
you made it this far, we're going to give you each $1 billion. Just because, like, so if in our comments you're like, where's my $1 billion? I mean, that just lets us know that you made it all the way to the end. We don't have $1 billion, but...
no, I was gonna say these are some of the ways that I don't feel that I'm like psychic or like a medium, but I think I've really connected to my intuition and opened up my intuition. And the ways that I've done that are like just being open to it. And I think like you think like, oh, if you're going to be able to talk to spirits, it's like you're hearing like a disembodied voice in the distance, or you're like seeing the spirit in front of your face. But it's like it's much more subtle than that, at least for me. It's like, I can kind of ask a question in my head. I can ask my mom something in my head, and then I hear her answer, usually in my own voice in my head. But you can kind of know, like, is that my anxiety? It takes time. It's like something you have to play with. It's
I love
like
that song. That's my anxiety. Whatever, you know what song I'm talking about?
I think so.
That got me to the other subject that I wanted to talk about in this subject, but we didn't talk about it at all, so we're not going to use that for this podcast. But that was Ask the Universe a Question.
Yeah, but I think there's a book called Conversations with the Universe, but that's kind of what you're doing. You just like, is anyone out there? Mom, grandma? You can kind of just ask and listen. And journaling is really great. Like when you free write and you don't like you let your hand move like without really making your mind get involved. A lot of times you can get like intuitive downloads that way. You can ask a specific person something and just let your hand write and see what happens. Angel cards, like spiritual cards, like those card decks. I'm not a huge fan of tarot, just it's not personally for me, but there are those card decks, and I think those are a good way. You'll pull one and you'll be like, whoa, this is like exactly what I needed to hear. And you kind of feel like, okay, there's something greater going on with me in this deck. But it's like, it can be very simple, and it's not like crazy, or you don't have to like build a seance in an altar and like light a bunch of weird shit on fire.
But if you want to, highly encouraged, right? We just got back from Thailand not too long ago, and there's every
spirit houses
everywhere. So try to talk to what you can't see and take a leap of faith, because why not?
Yeah,
It's
why
fun.
not? Yeah.